Guten Morgen. Haha. How's everybody doing today? All right. The burning question. How do I make my game fun? And the answer is, I don't know. But really, how do you make a game fun? How do you take an idea from concept to enjoyment? And this is going to be a little more freeform today because I don't actually know the answer to that question. I know what games are fun for me, and I know kind of what it is that makes them fun for me, but I don't know. Let's investigate. What is the nature of challenge? Pursuit of enjoyment. Why is it that we like a challenge in a game, but a challenge in our lives sets us back? That's a whole loaded question. I'm not quite ready to answer or ever. Let's just stick with what is it about games that makes us want to keep playing them and keep coming back to them? And what is it that makes our favorite games our favorite games? So let's talk about skill. That seems to be a common one that people talk about when they talk about what makes games fun. And I sort of touched on this a little bit with my level design discussion the other day. And I'm just going to circle back to it just a little bit. So, when you're making a game, you're creating a skill competition for a player against either themselves or other players. And you can say the skill competition is with the designer maybe too. Can the designer make a game where the player skill like that battle between the two? So when you pick up a game and it makes you feel skillful, that feels good. It feels nice to be able to make that long distance jump. That's kind of hard, but you did it. Oh, it's a block that was really far away. It feels really good to headshot an enemy or an opposing player. It feels good to solve a puzzle that was really difficult. Maybe you sat on it all night and you woke up in the morning and there was an idea in your head. And you thought, oh, I wonder if that's the solution. And then you boot up your game instead of getting yourself ready for work. And you test it out. And lo and behold, it was right. And then some part of you is like, okay, well, why don't I keep playing a little bit longer? That's fun, right? So what is it about these skill competitions? What is it about the chase of mastery that makes games games so enjoyable, that makes us want to keep playing them. Skill. Definitely skill factors into it. But that isn't everything, is it? Because not all games require skill. Some games just want you to make a farm. Arr. So skill doesn't really have all of to do with it. Because like Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon, these farming games don't necessarily require you to be skillful in order to have a good time. Sometimes, oh my god, I got these new brushes. They're so cute. Enjoy every day. That's what that says. All right. No, enjoy every moment. All right. I don't know how to read. That's. But I also got like a ton of brushes, and I have like 3 of these, but each one is slightly different, and I don't know what to do with them yet. So I'm just gonna do stuff and hope that I do it right. Whatever. I have like 100 of these brushes, so do stuff wrong, then I do it wrong. But so not all games require you to be skillful. Skill isn't like this absolute and all be all of a game. Because sometimes people want to play a game, you don't want to have to be really good at it. Sometimes you just want to be able to play it. You know, I mean, there are mods to make Dark Souls easier, mods to make Elden Ring easier. I didn't use them myself, but you know, you can. No, I actually considered it. Because not everybody is capable of the same levels of skill, and some stuff really is just difficult. Walkthroughs exist. You know, like I want to get to this next section, and the skill is outside of my realm, and yet I'm still having fun with the game. Okay, so that means skill isn't everything. That's fine. I didn't claim that it was. Other things that make games fun besides skill. Well, a game is really hard. What keeps you coming back? Challenge, that's skill. The skill in being able to cope with a particularly problematic element of the game. Well, okay, that's kind of a ham, but let's go back to Stardew Valley for a second. Stardew Valley, you can just wake up in the morning, plant 1 parsnip, go to bed, water. That 1 parsnip grows, you harvest it every single day. That's all you do in the game. It's just parsnip. 1 parsnip. That's a perfectly valid way to play the game. I don't recommend it because it sounds boring as hell for me, but somewhere out there is a person who that's what they can manage. That's their idea of a good time. It seems like an extreme example. That's like describing multi-dimensions just so you can describe heaven and hell. But that doesn't require skill to do that. And yet, out there are people who are enjoying their lives playing Stardew as slowly as possible. Just finding out that you can buy strawberries. Finally beating the Egg Festival after 10 years. Stuff like that. These are not skill-based enjoyments of the games. Okay. What about accumulation then? I mean, you could say that real life is like that kind of game. At least the money game, capitalism, is an accumulation game. We are given a problem, which is we need money. At first, we need the money to survive. You know, you're going to be buying food. You're going to be living in a home. You're going to be paying rent. So you need money in order to achieve that. But accumulation on its own isn't exactly that much fun. So you need tasks for accumulation. Banjo-Kazooie is a good example of something like this, where the goal of the game, well, I mean, there are other goals, like the story goals. We already talked about story. And there are bad guys that you can fight. So there is some fighting in that game, but they don't call them collectathons for nothing. Super Kiwi 64, which just came out recently. MacBat 64, which came out quite a few years ago. Both of those are purely collectathon games. I played Super Kiwi. It was really cute and really fun. You can fight things. There are certain things that you can attack, but it's not a necessary moment. I'm pretty sure you can just beat the whole game without killing anything, which was kind of cool. I really like that. But like, those are purely collectathon games. They're accumulation games. And so that doesn't necessarily require skill. It's like doing a word search. They give you the list of the words. You know what the letters are in what order, and you're just looking for them. And there's not necessarily like a skill. There is a skill to that, I suppose. Finding things is a skill. But there's something fun about accumulation. Borderlands is another example of a game where accumulating things is one of the great enjoyments of the game. Just like getting new weapons, getting new items, the crazy invented stuff that the game generates, like auto-generates, or the stuff that's been pre-created that you can collect from like killing certain enemies. Diablo was like that, where weapons were auto-generated and worlds were auto-generated, and like you never knew what you were going to pick up from one of the monsters. And there's something really kind of fun about like just like getting stuff and deciding what you're going to carry and what you're going to keep and what you're going to use. Okay. So there is a sense of enjoyment just from like having these things that we want and then going for them, accumulating them. I came up with this joke about a TV show called Say Yes to the Mess, which is like professional collectors help turn hobbyists into hoarders. So collectathons are kind of like that, where it's like you're accumulating things and you're building like abundance in your life in a digital way. And there is something very satisfying just about bringing more into your life and into your reality. And I think people will really respond to that. And it's not just a skill, and it's like it's a feeling that you get. And that sort of sense that like you're bringing something really positive into your world. It was really fun, and people respond to that. And they want that, and I want that. I love bringing more stuff into my life. Bringing joy to the world and all the boys and girls. Sorry, I caught myself shaving and it just keeps being a thing. Alright, Urban Decay. You just throw you away. This is what they really made coverage for. But I use it to cover my whole face. Come on. Okay. That's two things. But we can go deeper. Purple and red. What about dark purple and light purple? Yeah. What is it about collecting things that's so fun? Is it just because we're trained by society to accumulate? Or are there other reasons? Other things that at play? Are we like crows? Do we just see something shiny and we have to have it? That's certainly a possibility. I don't discount that that's played a factor in my decision-making processes throughout the years. Or like, ooh, that's cute. I want that. How many times have we said that? I know I have. It's not an invalid experience, though. Okay. Number 3. So we have skill, we have accumulation. What else makes a game fun? Movement? Juice. I'm going to call it juice. So sometimes you're playing a game and it just feels good. And you don't really like know what it is about the feeling of it that just feels really good. But there definitely is something there. And just like, this game feels awesome. That is juice. Sometimes it's just like responsiveness. Well, the game sees what you're doing And like there's certain things that you do that like the game just like woo, responds. Usually with like lots of colors or flashing, screen shakes, and colors, pixels, fragments fly off of stuff, sound effects, the music changes, get a little story feedback that's like, that was great, good job. Like the text, flavored text. That stuff is huge. And players really respond to flavor like that. And it's fun, and it's positive reinforcement. It's like telling somebody they did a good job. You did a good job playing this game. Such a good job that you get this cool animation that's not distracting at all. So, feedback. You'll call it juice, but I think feedback makes more sense. Feedback says you did the right thing, or you did the thing we wanted you to do as a gamer. Right? Wrong? I don't know. I've played Grand Theft Auto. Some games don't want you to do right and wrong. In fact, some games will tell you you did the right thing when you did something that's obviously very bad. So feedback is a really important part of making what I consider a fun game. When you do something in the game rewards you for that. Even in just like minor soft ways. It's really like healthy and in a way. Just like mood lifting to have it be like, great job. Now you get this little fun thing. And it's like it's strangely it kind of goes back to accumulation in that you're looking for that shiny thing, the shiny object. And the shiny object is the game's response to your actions. Thanks, game. Thanks for noticing me. And noticing all the things that I do for you. I think that about covers what I wanted to say about what makes a game fun. There's definitely some skill involved, but it's not a necessity. Accumulation is fun, collection, the sense of achievement, I suppose, is really what I mean. Abundance, increasing the amount of thing. That's always nice. And then feedback. It's really good to get feedback. In fact, I think feedback might even be the most important part. You could do away with skill and do away with accomplishment and just make a game that's just pure, enjoyable, pleasant feedback for actions, and it would make a game really enjoyable, really fun. I did this thing, and this other thing happened, That was very pleasant. And that's the thesis of fun, in my opinion. Feel free to tell me I'm wrong. But don't you dare.